made for rest. Y'all have stuck it out all week. All week. This is the 8th day of dedication. It's been tough. Hey y'all, B said it's been tough. It's been a long week. Y'all, B said it, you know. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Hallelujah. Give me a hand clap if y'all ain't seen B since last Shabbat. Give me a hand clap, y'all. It's been rough. It's been rough. Nah, for real. Y'all done stuck it out through the word going forth all week. If you learn something, say hallelujah. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Sleepless nights. See, much study is weariness to the what? To the flesh. But Yahuwah will give you rest. Hallelujah. Nah, man, but I appreciate everybody, seeing everybody all week, man. It was fun. It was a great time, great word, great fellowship. Great spades. You know what I'm saying? If you was over at the spades table, you know what I'm saying? Me and my wife was really we was really that deal this week. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, Hey, you know what, B? You came up too. Di was like, man. No, I'm gonna tell you. She was like, shoot. She like, B ain't nothing. I used to think B was something. B ain't nothing. That would say at sundown. It's going down. The duo that we didn't want to see is Elder Martin and my father-in-law. You know what I'm saying? They be cheating. Yeah, they never played together. They ain't played together all week. I think Di put the word in, you know what I'm saying, to her father. But we had a great week though. We had a great week. Great word, great fellowship. And as we close this thing on down, as we close this thing on down, I just want everybody to keep in mind to, make sure you dedicate your house to Yahuwah. You know what I'm saying? Like we said last night, draw near to him so he can do what? So he can draw near to you. Hallelujah. All right, without further ado, the man, the myth, the legend.
The mellow one.
Yahushua HaMashiach. Y'all go ahead and give him a hand clap for Yahushua HaMashiach. They ain't get it. Hey, Quab is getting ready to drop an album soon called The Man of Sorrows. It's a very Yah-filled album for those of y'all who are on the stream and didn't get to hear some of this music that we just played. Praise Yah. Some beautiful features on there. Brother Johnny is on there singing. You know what I'm saying? Doing his, you know what I'm saying? Doing his thing.
The Incredible Snipes.
Oh, yeah.
For the project. You know
I'm on there. Little guy on there. You know what I'm saying?
Playing big role. Couldn't done it without him.
All praises. All right, y'all. Let's get into it, man. Weighing in at a whopping 12 stones. I introduce y'all to Cold.
Mellow one. Shabbat Shalom. How's everybody feeling? Much love to my Octref for holding us down, for bringing some word all these days of this week. Know what I mean? A lot of people can't do that. Right? So what is this Hanukkah about? Dedication. So if you add re onto that word, what do you get? So why is it necessary to rededicate oneself? Slip a little bit, banana peels and oil and ice. Okay. Slip a That's what they say, slip a little bit. Too slippery. So, how many of y'all know that this book that we call the Bible is a love story? It's the most beautiful love story ever written, right? Nothing else can compare to it. So let's get into this, as Trav would say, Wade. Get me Numbers 32 and 23.
The book of Numbers, chapter 32, beginning at verse 23. But if you will not do so, behold, you have sinned against Yahuwah.
You did what?
You have sinned against Yahuwah.
You have sinned against Yah. Read.
And be sure your sin will find you out.
It will do what?
Your sin will find you out.
What does that mean? Your sin will find you out. It's going to come out no matter how much you may think man didn't see it or whatever. It's going to come out. He says, your sin will find you out. That's a heavy script right there. It's going to find you out. So this lesson is called Whoredom and the Law of Jealousy. Right? So when you sin against Yah, what do you really do? You do what, Jazz? You do what? You cheat on him.
You shrugged that answer off. That was the right answer.
You cheat on him. Now let me ask y'all, what would make a man go on a murderous rage? You do what? You mess with his wife. But what if the wife was a willing participant?
She get killed too.
And she was with it.
That might have been too fast. I ain't really mean it like that. That was what you call knee jerk. You know what I'm saying? All I saw was red.
Exodus 34:14. Exodus chapter 34 and verse 14.
Exodus chapter 34, beginning at verse 14. For you shall worship no other God.
You shall what?
You shall worship no other God.
If you worship another God, what are you doing? Cheating. Read.
For you shall worship no other God. For Yahuwah, whose name is jealous, is a jealous Elohim.
What kind?
A jealous Elohim.
He's a jealous Elohim. Big difference. It does not say he is a envious one, but he is a jealous one. What's the difference between jealousy and envy? Right? And envy is what? So it's somebody else's, right? So Yah is not an envious one, but he lets you know up front, I am a jealous El. I'm jealous. Get me Exodus 24, verse 8.
Exodus chapter 24 at verse 8. And Moses took the blood.
Took the what?
Took the blood and sprinkled it on the people and said, Behold, the blood of the covenant, which Yahuwah hath made with you concerning all these words. Then went up Moses and Aharon, Nadab, Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel.
So when Moses just sprinkled his blood on the people, what is taking place now? Sanctification will be looking for something else. Consummation to what? To a what? To a marriage. So right here, Yah is marrying his people. Right? He's marrying his people. Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 14.
Jeremiah chapter 3. At verse 14. Turn, O backsliding children.
Oh, who?
O backsliding children.
What's another word for this? Backsliding that Israel is doing.
Cheating.
She's what?
Cheating.
She's cheating.
Making plans.
Backsliding heifer. She's cheating right now. Read.
O cheating children, saith Yahuwah. For I am married unto you.
For I am what?
I am married unto you.
He says, I am married to you. Why do you think Yah used these metaphors of being married to the children of Israel? Why do you think he used these? To do what? And he wants you to understand when you worship another God, how you feel in the physical world. Can anybody relate to that?
Yeah.
Nobody can relate?
Oh,
Wow.
definitely can relate.
Mm.
Said he talked to you as a man because you understand as a man.
So, what can take a man and go into a rage and kill up people? One more time. If you do what? Y'all scared to answer.
I ain't. What? I'm killing you and him. And the dog, too. You're going to burn the house down.
The kids, the dog, the lion, everybody get it. Nobody. Yeah, Biggie.
Let me give an example.
Go ahead.
I'll give an example. My next door neighbor, when I was coming up, I was like 12 years old, 12, 13. He thought that his son, who was 21, 22 at the time, was sleeping around with his wife. He thought. So when he talking about this jealous rage, so now that this thought was in his mind, he started to look at all of the children and like, man, they look like my son. This shows you the jealous rage. Your son looks like, so naturally your children are going to, right? So what he did was he called his wife and he told her to watch the news tonight. And he killed all of his children. The 1-year-old, the 3-year-old, the 12-year-old, and I think it was 2 12-year-olds. And it was 4 of them, right? Was it 4 total? It was 4 total. So he took them all in the basement, shot them all with a double-barrel shotgun. One of them survived, right? To tell the story. And the father burned the house down, right? When he burnt the house down, he jumped out the back window and he went on a run. It looked like at first that it was just a house fire. Well, when they, did their investigation, they went downstairs, saw that the babies was downstairs, and the one that was alive, she told the story. Right? These are our next door neighbors. All because this man thought that his son was sleeping around with his wife. So, what a man to do.
Hold this in your mind.
Oh, they caught him. Yeah, they caught him. Maybe a couple months later or something like that. He went on the run for a nice little bit. Yeah, he went on the run. Man, the people thought that it was my father. They came to my house the next day. People in the hood, guns drawn and everything. What the boys at, dog? You know what I'm saying? They was about to try to light my pops up. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Jeremiah 3:14, one more time.
Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 14. Turn, O backsliding children, saith Yahuwah, for I am married unto you.
I am what?
I am married unto you.
He says, I am married to you. Big thing. Not you, my girlfriend, not my squeeze, not right. He said, I'm married to you. Whole nother level, right? Mm-hmm. Give me Proverbs chapter 6, verse 32.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 6, at verse 32. But whoso commit adultery.
Whoso what?
Whoso commit adultery.
Whoso commits adultery. When you marry Yah, if you worship another God, you are doing what?
Commit adultery.
You are committing adultery. Read.
But whoso commit adultery with a woman lacks understanding.
He does what?
Lacks understanding.
So any man that commits adultery with a married woman is a dummy. He lacks understanding. Read.
He that do it destroy his own soul.
He does what?
Destroys his own soul.
So when he's in the fire, he can't blame nobody. He says he's destroying his own soul. So you don't got no understanding. And if you do this act, you destroy your own soul. Read.
A wound and dishonor shall he get, and his reproach shall not be wiped away.
It shall what?
Shall not be wiped away.
So once he does this, because this is talking past the normal man, but right here it says, if he does this, he can never wipe his reproach away. Read.
For jealousy.
For what?
For jealousy.
For what?
For jealousy.
Read.
Is the rage of a man.
It is the what?
It's the rage of a man.
He says, for jealousy is the rage of a man. Not the anger, but rage. It gives it a whole different feeling, right? It says, for this jealousy is the rage of a man. Read.
Therefore, he will not spare.
He will what?
He will not spare.
Read.
In the day of vengeance.
In the what?
In the day of vengeance.
He won't spare in the day of vengeance. So again, you can have a big, tough, muscle-bound dude. If he messing with the scrawniest little man's wife, when that man come home and find out, that big dude is going to be afraid. Because the small dude is going to be enraged, and there's nothing that you can give him to appease him. Read.
He will not regard any ransom.
He what?
He will not regard any ransom.
Nothing that you can do can stop him. Read.
Neither will he rest content, though you give many gifts.
Though you do what?
Though you give many gifts.
Though you give many gifts. So no matter what you give, no matter what you try to give to him to appease him and say to him, nothing ain't going to work, because he's going to be in a jealous rage. Keep this in mind. I don't want you to get lost like last time. Don't try to get ahead. Stay with me. A jealous rage. Nothing can stop him. No gifts, no money, no bribe. he must get his hands on you. Right? Now, what if there's no witnesses to this atrocity which takes place? There's nobody witnessed y'all in this act, right? Is there any other way to know something has transpired? What about today when we don't have a priest and we don't have the drink?
What caused you to take her to the priest?
Is there anything that could come out of it physically that would show you a what? A baby. What if it's not a baby? It could be something. A what? What's it that?
Oh,
Okay.
Make it sound better.
Okay, put me up on the eye. What's the eye?
Infection.
Oh, okay.
Same thing.
Same thing. Tomato, potato. What? Same thing. So, if he don't find out, it's these things that'll happen that she might get pregnant from this or have a disease from this. Give me Genesis 38 and verse 13. Walk with me. Uh, 38:13.
Genesis chapter 38, verse 13. And it was told Tamar, saying, behold, your father-in-law go up to Timnath to shear his sheep. And she put her widow's garments off from her.
She did what?
She put her widow's garments off from her.
So she changes her garments. Read.
And covered herself with a veil. And wrapped herself.
She did what?
And wrapped herself.
She put on something form-fitting. She wanted to look a certain way. So when you see her, you would think of her in a certain light. Read.
And wrapped herself and sat in an open place, which is by the way to Timnath. For she saw that Shelah was grown, and she was not given unto him to wife. When Judah saw her, he thought her to be a harlot.
He did what?
He thought her to be a harlot.
Why did he think she was a harlot?
And so she on the strip. And she was on the strip.
Had on the move something dress. So she's out there, right? She dressed a certain type of way. She was looking for a certain type of attention, right? Read.
And he turned unto her by the way and said, go to, I pray you, let me come in unto you. For he knew not that she was his daughter-in-law.
He knew what?
He knew not that she was his daughter-in-law.
So this is his own daughter-in-law. But he don't have a clue who it is. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's why she went down there.
She knew his reputation of this is the type of stuff that Judah was doing. So, your father-in-law about to go to Timnah. She knew it.
Sick as heck. Man, that's sick.
Yes. Read on.
And she said, what will you give me that you may come in unto me? And he said, oh, yeah, I'll send you a kid from the flock. And she said, will you give me a pledge till you send it?
Wow, she paying for it with a goat.
Baby, don't worry, I got a goat.
Here you go. I got a baby goat for you. You know, y'all gonna have some lamb chops and stuff later on. What? Read.
What would you do for a Klondike bar? And he said, what pledge shall I give you? And she said, your signet.
Your
and
what?
your signet, your ring, and your bracelets.
That's the family ring that's got y'all's thing on it. This is, when you stamp this, they know that it's from your house and from your family. Look at the gamble that he's willing to take with this. Like anything but my ring. You know what I'm saying? No, come on now. Ask for something else. Not my ring. I can't give you that. That's going to give me away. But when you're blinded by something,
Lust.
all goes out the window. All common sense and logic goes away. And you make up stuff in your mind to trick yourself. You fool yourself.
Dude don't even know her. She could have peeled off with it and never been found again.
Exactly. But I know y'all can't relate. Read on.
And he gave it to her and came in unto her. And she conceived by him.
And she did what?
Conceived by him.
She conceived by him.
They ain't even had no lambskin condoms back then or nothing.
Boy. Read on.
She arose and went away and laid by her veil from her and put on the garments of her widowhood.
Now she took the widow's garments off, put on the whore's attire, then she put back on the widow's garment. Now she looked like what?
Now she looked like his daughter-in-law.
Now she back looking like a widow. Read on.
And Judah sent the kid by the hand of his friend, the Adulamite, to receive his pledge from the woman's hand, but he found her not. Then he asked the man of the place, saying, where that harlot?
Where's what?
Where's that harlot?
Where's the harlot at? Let's put it in today's term. Say it. I ain't gonna say it. I'll let you do it.
We just gonna say thought. You know what I'm saying? What that woo woo woo? What that little woo woo was at? You know what I'm saying? What that little woo woo that was over there down the street?
Woo woo woo.
That was openly by the wayside. She was on the track. She was down here last week. You know what I'm saying?
Read on.
And they said, it wasn't no woo 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 in here. And he returned to Judah and said, I can't find no woo woo woo. And also the men of that place said, there was no woo 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 in that place. And Judah said, let her take it to her, lest we be shamed.
Lest we be what?
Lest we be shamed.
You already knew. You worrying about being shamed.
Right.
Meaning you already knew. Dang, just let her get it. I'll get me a new one. I'll make a new signet ring. You knew it. You worrying about getting shamed.
Right. You already
Read.
did wrong. Behold, I sent this kid, and you have not found her.
You what?
And you have not found her.
You have not found her. So, they can't find her. Who knows about what Tamar and Judah has done?
Just them three.
Nobody but them, right? Mm-hmm. Read.
And it came to pass about 3 months after.
About what?
About 3 months after, that it was told Judah, saying, hey, Tamar, your daughter-in-law, done played the woo-woo-woo. And also, behold, she is with child.
She was what?
She is with child.
She is with child. So it's 3 months later what has given her away? What has happened to her stomach? It has started to swell. Keep this in mind. The only evidence that she has played the harlot is her stomach has swollen. I want y'all to hold on to that. Don't get lost. Read that again.
And it came to pass about 3 months after that it was told Judah, saying, Tamar, your daughter, has played the harlot. And also, behold, she is with child by whoredom.
She was child by what?
By whoredom.
By whoredom. Because she didn't get to get one of my other sons, so she couldn't have been with. She's got a baby by whoredom. Read.
And Judah said, bring her forth, and let her be burnt.
And let her be what?
Let her be burnt.
And let her be burnt. So Judah finds this out. He thinks that his daughter-in-law has played the harlot with somebody else, and he is ready to do what to her? He want to burn her up, because that's what the law states supposed to happen to a harlot. She's supposed to be stoned or burned. So he's trying to follow the law while breaking it himself. Read.
And when she was brought forth, she sent to her father-in-law, saying, by the man whose these are, I'm with child.
I'm with what?
I'm with child.
Read.
And she said, discern. I pray you, who's these?
Oh, that signet ring says Judah. Wait a minute. Where you get that from? You been in my house stealing. You gave it to her. You know it. Read.
And she said, discern. I pray you, whose are these? The signet and bracelets and staff. And Judah acknowledged them and said, she have been more righteous than I.
See what?
She have been more righteous than I.
See, this is show you about judgment, unrighteous judgment. He is actually worse than her in this case, but he ready to have her burned. And he just as guilty, even more so because of who he is. Give me James 1:14.
And she still didn't put him on blast. She sent to get that message to him. Oh, right. You said come get burnt? Tell him I said this. You know what I'm saying? That boy shook.
Pulled back that thing on her head and looked at him with the wink. You gonna burn too.
You burn, I burn, we burn together. James 1:14. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust.
Of his what?
Of his own lust.
Of his own lust. This is man and woman, not just man. Read.
And enticed. Then when lust has conceived, it bring forth sin.
When it has what?
When lust have conceived.
When it has what?
Conceived.
So it's using the word conceive. It says when lust have conceived, it does what?
It bring forth sin.
And what else?
And sin, when it is finished, bring forth death.
So when you go off and sin against Yah, you become pregnant with what?
Death.
So you birth sin and death. They're using a direct word of conceive. Yes, read that again.
But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. Then when lust have conceived.
When it what?
When it have conceived.
When lust has conceived, read.
It brings forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, brings forth death.
So when you sin against Yah, he's saying that you were pregnant and you bring forth sin and death. You were pregnant with sin and death. Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 1.
Jeremiah 30 at 1. The word that came to Jeremiah from Yahuwah, saying, Thus speaketh Yahuwah Elohim of Israel, saying, Write you all these words that I have spoken unto you in a book. For lo, the days come, saith Yahuwah, that I'll bring again the captivity of my people Israel and Judah, saith Yahuwah. And I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it. And these are the words that Yahuwah spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. For thus saith Yahuwah, we have heard a voice of trembling.
We have heard what?
We have heard a voice of trembling.
Read.
Of fear and not of peace. Ask you now and see whether a man do travail with child.
Whether a man do what?
Travail with child.
So he's saying, ask and do a man get pregnant and have a child and travail? Read.
Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins.
On his what?
On his loins.
So he say, why I see all these men with their hands on their loins as if they pregnant, as if they getting ready to have birth to something. He's asking this question. Why is everybody, why all these men is holding themselves in this way, the same way a pregnant woman will hold herself? Read this 1,000 times, but it's just now hitting. Read that verse again.
Ask now and see whether a man do travail with child. Why do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness? Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it.
So that what?
So that none is like it.
So this day is great, so that none is like it. Read.
It is even the time of Jacob's trouble.
Whose trouble?
Jacob's trouble.
Jacob's trouble. So we're going to see that Yah used these metaphors all through this book to convey a message. He go from spiritual to physical, back and forth, to try to get across to you his feelings about his people, a.k.a. his wife, a.k.a. his bride. Right? So let's switch gears for a sec. Exodus chapter 32 and verse 1. Exodus chapter 32 and verse 1.
Exodus chapter 32 at verse 1. And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount.
Now, keep in mind, this is right after the children of Israel has says, I do, or all that you have said, we will do. This is right after Yah has married the children of Israel. All right? Keep that in mind. Read.
And when the people saw that Moses delayed.
That he did what?
Delayed.
So I want you to keep this. Moses has delayed his coming or coming down. Read.
That Moses delayed to come down out of the mount. The people gathered themselves together unto Aharon and said unto him, Up, make us gods.
Do what?
Make us gods.
It says, up, make us gods. Now, why are they doing this? Right. So do you think that this is facetious in what they're doing? You think their heart is evil like when they doing this? Yeah, I like that. Anybody else? Right. So I want you. What you got? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely. 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 We we gonna go there. We gonna go there. So they're not doing something out of malice right now. All they know is Moses ain't come back. He is the connection between us and Yah. Without him, we can't talk to him. So they think both of them has abandoned them. What you got, Ak? Absolutely. They said, we want to talk with you, Moses. You go back and talk to him. That lightning and that thundering that's some scary stuff. You talk to him. So absolutely, they put themselves in this. Read on, Ak.
And Aharon said unto them, break off the golden earrings which are in the ears of your wives, of your sons, and of your daughters, and bring them unto me.
And do what?
And bring them unto me.
Read.
And all the people broke off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them unto Aharon. And he received them at their hand, and fashioned it with a graving tool.
You did what?
Fashioned it with a graving tool.
So Aharon has just made what?
An idol.
He has just made an idol. The great Aharon just made an idol. Do we have an idol at the end? Is there an idol at the end? Absolutely. Yeah, it's what you're talking about. So Aharon has just made an image, right? Just made this. Get me Revelation chapter 13 and verse 14. He has just made an idol for the people.
Revelation 13:14. And deceived them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image.
They should do what?
That they should make an image.
That they should make an image. So right here we have an idol. We have an idol back when Aharon is on the scene. And in the end there's going to be an idol that's on the scene. Anybody know what Aaron's name mean? Yes, sir. Anybody know what his name means? His name means light bringer or bringer of light. Right? Give me 2 Corinthians 11 and 14.
2 Corinthians 11:14. And no marvel, for Shaitan himself is transformed into an angel of light.
Into what?
An angel of light.
Into an angel of light. Read.
Therefore it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness.
Into what?
Into the ministers of righteousness.
So right here, Aaron is the light bringer, right? But he made an idol. Satan's people also can transform into what? Into light. So it's probably going to be somebody similar to Aaron in the end that's going to deceive the people. Keep this in mind. Seems to be for the people, but makes you make an idol. So we had an idol in Exodus, and we have an idol in Revelation. But what's the difference between the two idols? Somewhat. That is right, but what you got? What else? It's something else. Yeah, it was actually both conscious choices. Let's show you the difference. Let's see the difference. Revelations chapter 13, verse 15.
Revelation 13:15. And he had power to give life.
To do what?
To give life unto the image of the beast.
That it's a what?
That the image of the beast should both speak.
To do what?
Speak.
So this image is going to be able to speak. So it's more advanced than the one in the Old Testament. But it's the same thing. This one will be able to speak. Read, finish that out.
And cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Should be what?
Killed.
Should be killed. So when you see a object that they would say it's enamored, speak. Wow, that thing is talking. But can we see something like this similar from the Old Testament? That's the question. Can we see something similar? Remember, the beast only bites. It can do nothing original. It only bites. Everything that it does, it's a copy. Let's see. Get me Numbers chapter 7 and verse 89.
The book of Numbers, chapter 7, at verse 89. And when Moses was going into the tabernacle of the congregation to speak with him, then he heard the voice of one speaking.
He heard what?
The voice of one speaking.
Read.
Unto him from off the mercy seat that was upon the ark of testimony.
So, if you didn't know any better, what would be speaking there?
The cherubim.
The ark itself.
Oh, yeah.
You would think that the ark is speaking. Let's make it more clear. Exodus chapter 3 and verse 2.
The book of Exodus chapter 3 at verse 2. And the angel of Yahuwah appeared unto him in a flame of fire.
And what?
In a flame of fire.
Read.
Out of the midst of a bush. And he looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire.
It did what?
The bush burned with fire.
Read.
And the bush was not consumed.
It was what?
Was not consumed.
So we have a miracle here. We have a bush that's on fire and is not burning up. But what's coming out of the bush? A voice is coming out the bush. To Moses at this time, if you just don't know, the bush is talking, right? It's something that's not supposed to be talking. But who is really talking out the bush? It's Yah. So I think on the other side, it's really Satan that's speaking out of the image, copying what Yah is doing. Everything is a bite. Everything is a copy. He don't do nothing original. So again, this would be like, wow, the bush talking to me. It's understanding and it's actually communicating with me. But that's Yah speaking to Moses out of there. So think about at the end, if you were to see this, it's all a bite. So this image can speak. It's mimicking what Yah did with Moses, right? Back to Exodus 32. I don't think he'll do that. But he might. He might, because this is the trick. Remember, everything that he's going to do is going to deceive you into believing that this is Yah. And it's ironic that the place of the holy where you take your shoes off is Saudi Arabia. Exodus 32 and verse 5.
Exodus 32 and 5. And when Aharon saw it, he built an altar before it.
He did what?
He built an altar before it.
Read.
And Aharon made proclamation and said, tomorrow is a feast to Yahuwah.
Is a feast to who?
Is a feast to Yahuwah.
So Aharon has named this thing Yah. He has put something that they have just created with his own hands. He has named it Yah. So now when they get ready to worship it, who do they feel in their heart they worshiping? They feel that they're worshiping Yah. They don't even feel that this is idolatry. They think they're doing something good. So what if at the end you think you're doing something good? Can y'all see that a little bit? You're going to think you're doing something good that's pleasing to him. Yeah.
It's going to be deeper than
this
that. This
even worse than that.
Sunday worship going to be out the window. You know what I'm saying? Like that deception is already getting cracked down. By this time,
so these people right now actually believe that they are doing something good. They don't feel that they are in idolatry. They have replaced him with something because he hasn't come back down to them. They have made a replacement Yah. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 12. They have went back to what is familiar to them. They came out of Egypt with idolatry all over the place. So they have reverted back to what they know. Deuteronomy 12 and verse 4.
Deuteronomy 12 and 4. You shall not do so unto Yahuwah your Elohim, but unto the place which Yahuwah your Elohim shall choose.
Go back, verse 3.
Verse 3. And you shall overthrow their altars.
Do what?
Overthrow their altars.
Not build one. Read.
Break their pillars and burn their groves with fire. And you shall hew down the graven images of their gods.
Not build it. Read.
And destroy the names of them out of that place. You shall not do so unto Yahuwah your Elohim.
So he's letting you know, don't worship me the way that the other nations worship their gods. Don't do that. I don't got nothing to do with them. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 12.
Deuteronomy 4 and 12. And Yahuwah spake unto you out of the midst of the fire. You heard the voice of words, but you saw no similitude.
You saw what?
You saw no similitude.
You didn't see anything. You have no clue how I look, my shape, or anything. All you heard is words. You thought that the bush was speaking. Read.
Verse 13. And he declared unto you his covenant, which he commanded you to perform, even 10 commandments. And he wrote them upon 2 tables of stone. And Yahuwah commanded me at that time to teach you statutes and judgments, that you might do them in the land where you go over to possess it. Take you therefore good heed.
What kind of heed?
Good heed.
Take good heed that what?
Unto yourselves, for you saw no manner of similitude.
You did not see me. Read.
On the day that Yahuwah spake unto you in Horeb, out of the midst of the fire. Lest you corrupt yourself.
Lest you do what?
Lest you corrupt yourself.
Don't corrupt yourself. Read.
And make you a graven image.
Make you what kind of image?
A graven image.
Make you a graven image. Don't do it. Read.
The similitude of any figure. The likeness of male or female. The likeness of any beast that's on the earth. The likeness of any winged fowl that fly in the air. The likeness of anything that creep on the ground.
So in short, don't make anything to represent me. Anything that you put your hands to making and you say that it represents me, it is corrupt. Don't do it. So a lot of brothers in the camps believe that picture, what I call Kimbo Slice, they think that this is harmless. They think that this is okay and we just giving the people something to hold on to because they got that white image, so we wanted to empower our people with the black one. No, he told you don't do that. Very, very simple. Do not make anything that you say is me that represents me. Yeah. Plain and simple. It's no parables, no nothing. Don't do it. So he's letting them know. Don't worship me in the way that these other people worship their gods. Don't do it. All right? Go back. Exodus 32 and verse 6. It's going to all make sense. Exodus 32 and 6.
Exodus 32 and 6. And they rose up early on the morrow.
They did what?
They rose up early on the morrow.
They rose up early soon as the sun went down.
They rose up early on the morrow.
They rose up early on the morrow. Read.
And offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings.
What kind of offerings?
Peace offerings.
They brought burnt offerings, peace offerings. Read.
And the people sat down to eat and to drink, and rose up to play.
And they did what?
And rose up to play.
What do you think that means? They rose up to play. These kids. He say they rose up to play. Let your minds take you there. They rose up to play, but they were eating and drinking.
They was drinking water.
Nah, there wasn't no water. Fire water.
Fireball.
That stuff that make you, that I don't touch.
They say that goose get you loose. Patron take you home. Gin make you sin.
Woo-hoo-hoo. That boy gonna keep it going.
Is there another?
Hennessy what? Say Hennessy do what?
Hennessy make you finicky.
So the people is eating and drinking. Now what's wrong with that? Nothing in itself. But let's see. We have what is called cyclical patterns in the book to try to show you something. Right? They partying, they feasting, they eating and drinking. Luke 17 and 27. Luke chapter 17 and verse 27.
Luke 17:27. They did eat.
They did what?
They did eat.
Notice the similarities. Read.
They did drink. They married wives. They were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark.
Until what?
The day that Noah entered into the ark.
So right before the flood, the people were doing what?
Eating, drinking, and
They were feasting. They was having a good time. Right? But what if you think you're doing something good? Read on.
until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all.
It did what?
Destroyed them all.
Read.
Likewise, also, it was in the days of Lot.
In the days of who?
In the days of Lot.
The days of Lot is the days of what?
Sodom and Gomorrah.
And Gomorrah. Read.
But the same day,
Go back.
likewise also was in the days of Lot. They did eat.
They did what?
They did eat.
Read.
They did drink.
They did what?
They did drink.
Same thing, the eating and the drinking. Read.
They bought. They sold. They planted. And they builded. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone.
It did what?
It rained fire and brimstone.
It rained fire and brimstone. Now, back in Exodus, they have just made a feast unto what they are calling Yah, right? They just made a feast to it, and it's got Yah's name on it. They think they're singing and dancing to Yah, but they not. Amos chapter 5 and verse 20. Got to beware these celebrations. Some of them, Israel like to celebrate anything. I've been on my job for a week, buddy. Let's poop, 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 poop. Occasions. Got to watch it. Read. 5 and verse 20.
Amos 5 and verse 20. Shall not the day of Yahuwah be darkness?
Shall be what?
Darkness.
Read.
And not light.
And what?
And not light.
Read.
Even very dark.
Even what?
Very dark.
Read.
And no brightness in it. I despise.
I do what?
I despise.
That man says, I hate, I despise what?
Your feast days.
Not mine, but I hate, I despise your feast days. Read.
And I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
I will not do what?
I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
What is it to smell? Read.
Though you offer me burnt offerings.
Though you do what?
You offer me burnt offerings.
What did they offer to the idol?
Burnt offerings, peace offerings.
Read.
Though you offer me burnt offerings, he said barbecue, and meat offerings, I will not accept them.
I will what?
I will not accept them.
Even though you think you're doing something good, he says, I will not accept it. Read.
Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beast.
The what kind of offering?
Your peace offerings.
He ain't gonna regard it because you're trying to be friends with me, but you're doing it in the wrong way. I won't regard it. Read.
Take you away from me the noise of your songs.
Get your filthy songs away from me.
For I won't hear the melody of your vows.
I what?
I won't hear the melody of your vows.
What they was doing when he came down, they was singing and dancing and partying. Same thing gonna happen in the end. Read.
But let judgment run down as waters.
Let it do what?
Run down as waters.
He said, let judgment run down as water. So again, these people really believe they are doing something good. They are full of zeal at the moment. Romans chapter 10, verse 1.
Romans 10 and 1. Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to Elohim for Israel is that they might be saved.
That they what?
That they might be saved.
I pray that Israel is saved. Read.
For I bear them record that they have a zeal of Elohim.
They have what?
A zeal of Elohim.
So they're doing something at that mount with the great zeal. Read.
But not according to knowledge.
But not what?
But not according to knowledge.
But you're doing something opposite of what I told you. So you're doing it and you think you're doing something good, but it's not according to what I told you to do. It's not according to knowledge. Read.
For they being ignorant of Elohim's righteousness.
Of what?
Of Elohim's righteousness, and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness.
They have what?
They have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness.
They have not committed themselves to the righteousness
of Elohim.
So, the false prophet is the one who causes or makes the people to worship the idol. Let's see. Revelations 13:13.
Revelation 13:13. And he do great wonders, so that he make fire come down from Shamaim on the earth in the sight of men, and deceive them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast.
They said what?
Make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword, and did live.
And did what?
And did live.
And did live. So the false prophet is the one that makes or calls these people to make the idol and to worship it. Exodus chapter 7 and verse 1. Absolutely. Except this is going to be enforced. And it's going to be sneaky to make you not think that you're doing anything wrong.
Exodus 7 and 1. And Yahuwah said unto Moses, see, I have made you a god to Pharaoh.
I have made you what?
I have made you a god to Pharaoh.
So the Antichrist would be the God figure, as Moses is here. Read.
And Aharon your brother shall be your prophet.
He shall be your what?
Your prophet.
He shall be your prophet. So Aaron is playing this role, even though he's not maliciously doing this, he's still doing it nevertheless. Right? So right here he calls him Aaron the prophet. The false prophet is the one who is to blame for this. Exodus 32 and verse 21.
Exodus chapter 32 at verse 21. And Moses said unto Aharon, what did this people to you, that you have brought so great a sin upon them?
That what?
That you brought so great a sin upon them.
Notice who Moses blames. he blames Aaron for it. Same thing, right? Moses blames Aaron for doing this. All right, jump back to verse 7.
Verse 7. Yahuwah said unto Moses, Go, get you down for your people.
For who?
For your people, which you brought out of the land of Egypt.
Which what?
Which you brought out of the land of Egypt.
Read.
Done corrupted themselves.
They did what?
They corrupted themselves.
He told you, you saw no image when I spoke to you out of the bush in Horeb. Least you make an image and do what? And corrupt yourselves. Read.
They have corrupted themselves. They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them.
Right after he married them. Read.
They done made a molten calf and worshipped it.
And did what?
And worshipped it.
So when they just worship this thing, what are the people doing again?
They cheating.
They are cheating on him. Think in the natural world your feelings right now. How do you feel in the natural world? This is what Yah is feeling with this.
In his camp too.
Right.
You gonna take him to my house?
They came directly to him and says, make us gods. We don't know what has happened to this Moses. He done went up there and he ain't come back down. This is the 40 days thing. So Moses is taking too long for them.
Your man done went on a business trip. And you
They done got restless. They sick of waiting on him. What happened to him? We need to see something, right? Us as the people, we want to see something. Even though he's already shown you all this power, I still want to be like the other nations. We need to see somebody physically here in front of us so we can get it. But absolutely. All that. He's done all that right in front of them for them to see it. And quickly, they have went out of the way.
So essentially, Moses was their God. Right? So when Moses went away, they like, we need something to look at, to, you know what I'm saying, give honor to. This was people from all over the world.
That's key to know. That is everybody there.
Everybody.
All people from everywhere is there.
Famine. The famine brought everybody there. And when they left out, it was multiple nations that left out with Israel.
Yeah.
The
mixed multitude.
Everybody tried to make it seem like only Israel was saved. No, the entire world gathered themselves to Egypt in this region. You know what I'm saying?
So you had Israel, 600,000 men, and then it says, and also a mixed multitude came out with them. Yeah.
Yeah, so Egypt, remember, Egypt's resources, right? It was a famine. Egypt got the resources. Everybody came there to get those resources, and they found refuge in Egypt. So when naturally, when Israel leave out, what did the Pharaoh say? He said, unless they get too big and they team up with the what? With all of these other nations, our other enemies, together. So when Israel left out, the mixed multitude left out with them. These is pieces of everybody in this region. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. See, all these people there. I just looked up. I saw Ant first. Go ahead, Doc. It's the famine exactly. So if you don't come to Egypt, you don't get no food because Joseph is the one that has saved up all the grain and the crops for 7 years. Everywhere else, if you're not there, you're gonna die off. So therefore, everybody, all nations, had to come there. I got you next out. Absolutely, and they was slaves too, and we don't want to die. No.
They was the most feared though.
Speak up, I can hear you.
The mixed multitude,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
stranger.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, he basically he left too long. They wanted him to come back quick. So if he'd have came back in 39 days, it'd have been it's good, but it was 40, and they like we don't know what happened to him. He taking too long to come back. We need a representation. We need us a God that we can see, because like he said, Moses is essentially their God right now. He's in Mashiach's stead back here. So he ain't coming back. Yeah, they might rationalize it as that.
Nah, not at that point though, because he had. Yeah. Right, right.
Wait, what verse was you at? Is it
We was at
9?
verse 9.
Read.
And Yahuwah said unto Moses, I have seen this people.
I did what?
I have seen this people.
Read.
And behold, it's a stiff-necked people.
What kind of people?
A stiff-necked people.
A proud people. Read.
Now therefore, leave me alone, that my wrath may wax hot.
That my what?
That my wrath may wax hot.
So Yah is pissed off right now. It says that his wrath may wax hot. He told Moses, get out of here. Let me alone. This is he's so mad right now. The world would say he's stewing. He's so mad right now. Get out of here. Let me alone. Read.
That my wrath may wax hot against them, and I may consume them, and I'll make a great nation of you.
So what is Yah ready to do to his wife?
Kill them all.
Kill them all. I'm ready to get rid of you. I'm about to go into a jealous rage and kill every one of y'all. Because this is how he's looking at it. This is my wife, and she's down there committing whoredom, singing and dancing to somebody that you think is me.
That you made me.
That you
made
made.
me.
Ezekiel 16, verse 3.
No.
You say even though he what? No, this is what we.
No.
This the reason why I showed you in. This the reason why I showed you in that Proverbs, right, where he says that nothing is gonna stop him if he see this, if he find this out. He'll go into this jealous rage. It's like almost an out of body experience type of thing, right?
He put it in the law. If she commit adultery, she got to go. Her and the dude together. He put it in the law for a reason. Remember, the law came from him. Kill her.
Yes.
I want to overkill you. I don't just want to kill you. I want to overkill you. Yeah, I want to kill you dead.
I will kill you dead and with death.
That woman who stabbed the dude 40 times, she wanted to kill him. Like if she could bring him back to life and kill him again, she would do it. That's that temporary insanity.
Right. Ezekiel 16, verse 3.
Ezekiel 16:3. And say, thus saith Yahuwah Elohim unto Jerusalem, your birth and your nativity is of the land of Canaan, your father an Amorite and your mother a Hittite. And as for your nativity in the day that you were born, your navel wasn't cut, neither was you washed in water to supple you. You was not salted at all, nor swaddled at all. No eye pitied you to do any of these unto you.
No what?
No eye pitied you to do any of these unto you.
Read.
To have compassion on you. But you was cast into an open field.
Into what?
To an open field.
Like Tamar. Read.
To a loathing of your person in the day that you was born. But when I passed by you and saw you polluted in your own blood, I saw you when you was in your blood.
This is Mashiach talking about the children of Israel as a woman, right? He's speaking about the nation as if it's a woman and how you was nothing. No other man or God wanted you. But as soon as I got you and fixed you up and gave you everything, look what you turn and do to me. Read.
I saw you when you was in your blood. Live. Yeah, I said unto you when you was in your blood, live. I caused you to multiply as the bud of the field, and you have increased and waxed great. You come to excellent ornaments. Your breast is fashioned. Your hair is grown.
Your what?
Your hair is grown.
You was a little nappy head, little bald head, scallywag.
Nappy headed, woo, woo, woo.
And I done fixed you up and gave you something. Look what you.
You was naked, broke. Now when I passed by you and looked upon you, it was a time of love.
It
baby.
was what?
It was a time of love.
It says it was a time of love. Even when I saw you was bald-headed, nappy, and this, that, and the third, I liked you. I got you and fixed you up and gave you everything. I saw past all that. You was like Leah. You was tender-eyed, and I got you anyway.
I seen the potential in your beauty, baby. You had your lace front all sideways.
I took them eyelashes off of you and showed you the beauty of your own eyelashes.
I knew what was behind all that caked up makeup on your face.
I wiped that makeup off of you and showed you your real beauty. Look at yourself.
Grab her neck. Look at
Look at yourself.
Look, woman.
Read on.
Yeah, I spread my skirt over you. I covered your naked behind. Yeah, I swore to you. I entered into a covenant with
Into
you.
what?
A covenant with you,
Read.
saith Yahuwah Elohim, and you became mine.
And you did what?
And you became mine.
And you became mine. Read.
Then I washed you. I washed you with water. I thoroughly washed you away, washed away the blood from off you. And I anointed you with oil.
I did what?
I anointed you with oil.
Read.
I clothed you with broidered work. I shod you with badger skin. I girded you about with the finest linen.
With what?
With the finest linen.
Wait a minute. The linen from Egypt.
Fine linen.
Read.
I covered you with silk so it wouldn't mess up your hair.
Your bonnet is silk.
I got silk sheets.
He's showing I'm giving you the best of everything. Read.
I decked you with ornaments, and I put bracelets on your hands, chain on your neck. I put a jewel on your forehead and earrings in your ears and a beautiful crown upon your head. You was decked with gold and silver. Your raiment was of fine linen and silk, embroidered work. You did eat the fine flour and honey.
You ate what?
Fine flour.
You ate the finest, the best. Read.
Honey and oil. You was exceedingly beautiful.
You was what?
You was exceedingly beautiful.
Read.
You prospered into a kingdom. Your renown went forth among all the heathen for your beauty.
So now you done got famous because of me. I gave you these things and now you've become famous. Now all of a sudden everybody wants you. Read.
For it was perfect through my comeliness.
Through what?
Through my comeliness.
You still only beautiful because of me. Read.
Which I had put upon you, saith Yahuwah Elohim. But you trust in your own beauty.
You did what?
You trusted in your own beauty.
You thought it was from you. I won't have, Eddie. I won't have. You thought it was because of you. Read.
You trusted in your own beauty. And you played the woo woo woo.
And you played what?
You played the woo woo woo.
There you go. I fixed you up, give you everything, give you the finest of everything, and you turn around and play the
Woo
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 woo.
woo. How do you think this man feels? Put it in the natural world. How does this man feel about this? Let's see. Get me 1 Samuel chapter 8 and verse 4. 1 Samuel chapter 8 and verse 4.
1 Samuel chapter 8 and verse 4. Then all the elders of Israel gathered themselves together and came to Samuel unto Ramah and said unto him, Behold, you are old, and your son walk not in your ways. Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations.
Do what?
Make us a king to judge us like all the nations.
So the children of Israel just came to Samuel and says, what?
Make us a king to judge us like all the nations.
Who is the king?
Yah's the king.
Yah is the king. What are they really telling Yah right here?
You ain't good enough, bro.
We don't want you. We don't want you. We want somebody else.
Everybody else walk down the street and hold hands with their woman, but you don't. We want to be like everybody else.
These people are directly asking, give us a divorce. We don't want to be with you. They're asking him directly for this. We don't want you. You're not good enough for us. We want to be like the other nations. Read.
But the thing displeased Samuel when they said, Give us a king to judge us. And Samuel prayed unto Yahuwah. And Yahuwah said unto Samuel, Listen to the voice of the people.
Do what?
Listen to the voice of the people.
How do you think Yah is saying this right here?
Sad.
He's sad right now. Read.
Listen to the voice of the people and everything they say to you. For they ain't rejected you, Samuel, but they rejected me.
They did what?
They rejected me.
They are rejecting me. This is killing this man. He's sad while he's saying this. Read.
That I should not reign over them, according to all the works which they have done, since the day that I brought them up out of Egypt.
Since what?
The day that I brought them up out of Egypt.
Y'all been doing evil to me back to back to back since the day I brought you out of Egypt. Read.
Even to this day.
Even when?
Even to this day.
Even to this day y'all doing it. Read.
Wherewith they have forsaken me. They done served other gods. So do they also unto you. Now therefore, listen to their voice.
Do what?
Listen to their voice.
Listen to their voice. Go ahead and do it.
Howbeit, yet, protest solemnly unto them.
Do what?
Protest solemnly unto them.
Protest solemnly unto them. Let them know what they really asking for.
Show them the manner of king that's going to reign over them. And Samuel told all the words of Yahuwah unto the people that asked of him a king. And he said, this will be the manner of king that's going to reign over you.
This what?
This going to be the manner of king that reign over you.
It's going to be the ante at the end. But you chose it. See the thing with this? It's because you chose this. The type of king that's going to come at the end, you chose it. Let's see some parallels with this. When Moses came down, what were the people doing? Eating, drinking, having a good time. They were in idolatry. When Mashiach comes down, what do you think he's going to see? The same thing. Moses was hot when he seen this. Yah was hot when he seen this. He says, get rid of all of them. I'm finna come down and I'm going to kill all of them. Right? The jealousy was in full effect. Moses made these people do something with the idol. What did Moses make him do with that idol? He grinded into pieces and did what? He made them drink it. Right? Revelation chapter 8 and verse 9. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Not,
All of them, the majority of them was brown skin at that time. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? He recognized his brothers because he knew his brothers. They didn't recognize him because of all of the stuff that he had on. He looked like an Egyptian. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't skin color because that region was full of this type of skin the whole time.
So that's Jacob. So we'll talk afterwards on that for you. Revelations 8 and 9.
Revelation.
So remember, when Moses saw them, he made them drink something. Read.
And the third part of the creatures were in the sea and had life, died. And the third part of the ships were destroyed. And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from Shamaim, burning as it were a lamp. And it fell upon the third part of the rivers, upon the fountains of waters. And the name of that star is called Wormwood. And the third part of the waters became wormwood. And men died of the waters because they were made bitter.
Because they were what?
Made bitter.
So at the end, the waters are going to be made bitter. And it ain't going to be nothing to drink if you're still here at this time and you're going to have to drink the water. Yeah. Moses had you to drink something, and at the end you're going to have to drink something. It says that the waters became bitter, right? Wormwood means it's bitter. Numbers 25 and verse 11.
Numbers chapter 25. Man, praise y'all for the word. Can't nobody say we ain't getting no warnings. Numbers 25:11. Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aharon the priest, had turned my wrath away from the children
did
of
what?
Israel. Had turned my wrath away from the children of Israel.
So Phinehas at this time turns Yah's wrath away from the children of Israel. Read.
While he was zealous for my sake among them, that I consume not the children of Israel in my jealousy.
In my what?
In my jealousy.
So if it wasn't for Phinehas right here, in his jealousy, he would have did what to his wife?
Killed her.
He would have killed her. Keep that in mind. Phinehas stops him at this particular time. Numbers chapter 5, verse 12.
Numbers chapter 5, verse 12. Speak unto the children of Israel and say unto them. Matter of fact, I'm going to start at verse 11.
Go ahead.
And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel and say unto them, if any man's wife go aside.
If any man's what?
If any man's wife go aside.
Read.
And commit a trespass against him, and a man lie with her carnally.
Lie with her how?
Carnally.
Read.
And it be hid from the eyes of her husband.
And it be what?
Hid from the eyes of her husband.
So even if he don't see it, read.
And be kept close. And she be defiled. And there be no witness against her.
There be no what?
No witness against her.
Read.
Neither she be taken with the manner. And the spirit of jealousy come upon him.
What is it?
And the spirit of jealousy come upon him.
So Yah has something in here in place that even if he don't see it, the spirit of jealousy shall come upon a man. What verse you at?
That's verse 14.
Jump down to verse 20.
You want me to finish it out?
Yeah. Finish it out.
And he be jealous of his wife, and she be defiled, or if the spirit of jealousy come upon him, and he be jealous of his wife, and she be not defiled. Verse 20. But if you have gone aside to another instead of your husband, and if you be defiled, and some man have lain with you beside your husband, then the priest shall charge the woman with an oath of cursing.
Who is our priest?
Mashiach.
Read.
And the priest shall say to the woman, Yahuwah made you a curse and an oath among your people, when Yahuwah do make your thigh to rot.
Make what to
Your
happen?
thigh to rot.
Make your thigh to rot, read.
And your belly to swell.
And your what?
And your belly to swell.
So your thighs will rot and your belly
will swell.
will swell, read.
And this water that caused the curse.
That does what?
That caused the curse.
So you have to drink something, read.
Shall go into your bowels.
And do what?
And make your belly swell. And your thigh to rot. And the woman shall say, so be it, so be it. And the priest shall write these curses in a book, and he shall blot them out with the bitter water.
What kind of water?
Bitter water.
Read.
And he shall cause the woman to drink the bitter water that caused the curse. And the water that caused the curse shall enter into her and become bitter.
Become what?
Bitter.
What was the water in Revelation?
Bitter.
Bitter. Read.
Then the priest shall take the jealousy offering of the woman's hand, and shall wave the offering before Yahuwah, and offer it upon the altar. And the priest shall take a handful of the offering, even the memorial thereof, and burn it upon the altar. And afterward shall cause the woman to drink the water.
To do what?
To drink the water.
Read.
And when he hath made her to drink the water, then it shall come to pass that if she be defiled.
If she be what?
If she be defiled.
Read.
And have done trespass against her husband, that the water that caused the curse shall enter into her and become bitter.
Become what?
Bitter.
Read.
And her belly gonna swell.
What up?
And her thighs shall rot.
So her belly is going to swell and her thighs will rot. Now, the only way her belly swells and her thighs rot is what?
If she laid with somebody carnally.
If she is guilty. But if she is not guilty, what happens?
Verse 28. And if the woman be not defiled, but be clean, then she shall be free.
The water will not do nothing to her. So,
and shall conceive seed.
Right here.
Her sin.
Her sin is.
You said barren? She gonna die.
She gonna die.
She gonna die. Yeah, I think the reward of her, like her husband bringing her before the priest, all that stuff is embarrassing. So the reward is you clean, you ain't did nothing wrong, conceive, have child.
So notice it says her thighs is gonna rot. It's not a pretty picture. So her belly swells and her thighs rot. But if she's not guilty, nothing happens to her. She's cleared. Right? Keep that. James 1:12 again. No.
The book of James 1 and verse 12. Blessed is the man that endured temptation. He shall receive the crown of life, which Yahuwah hath promised to them that love him. Let no man say when he is tempted that I am tempted of Elohim. For Elohim cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempt he any man. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. Then when lust hath conceived, it bring forth sin.
It brings forth what?
It bring forth sin.
When lust has conceived, it brings forth what?
Sin.
Read.
And sin, when it is finished, brings forth death.
So why does the woman's stomach swell up? She pregnant with what?
Sin.
Pregnant with sin. Even though she's not pregnant, she's pregnant with sin. This is the children of Israel. And when you drink this drink, it's going to cause your belly to swell if you were participating in any of the idolatry that takes place. All right? Jeremiah chapter 30, 5 and 6.
Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 5. For thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, We have heard the voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask you now, and see whether a man do travail with child.
They do what?
Travail with child.
So why do you think these people are holding their bellies and their parts? They pregnant with sin. Read.
Why do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail?
As what?
As a woman in travail.
As a woman in travail. So she's going through it, and this shows. Now, how did they know that Tamar sinned again?
She got pregnant.
She got pregnant. It wasn't until they saw her stomach showed that she sinned. Her stomach swelled. It's the only way that they knew. Exodus 32 and verse 20.
Exodus 32 and verse 20. And he took the calf which they had made and burnt it with fire and ground it to powder and strawed it upon the water and made the children of Israel drink of it.
Made them do what?
Drink of it.
Made them drink of it. Notice the drink itself does not kill them. It's going to identify them.
And
Go ahead.
And Moses said unto Aharon, what did this people unto you, that you have brought so great sin upon them? And Aharon said, let not the anger of my master wax hot. You know your people, that they set on mischief.
They what?
They set on mischief.
Jump down to verse 27.
27. And he said unto them, thus saith Yahuwah Elohim of Israel, put every man his sword by his side. Go in and out from gate to gate throughout the camp, and slay every man his brother.
Do what?
Slay every man his brother.
So how would they know who was participating?
Stomach was swollen.
Read.
And every man his companion, and every man his neighbor. The children of Levi did according to the word of Moses.
They did what?
According to the word of Moses.
They did according to the word of Moses. So, Mashiach is coming back for who? His what? He's coming back for his bride, right? He tells you to put on your white and be dressed in this way.
For the wedding.
Get me Isaiah chapter 54, verse 4.
Isaiah 54 and 4. Fear not, for you shall not be ashamed, neither shall you be confounded, for you shall not be put to shame. For you shall forget the shame of your youth, and shall not remember the reproach of your widowhood anymore.
Of your what?
Of your widowhood anymore.
So he's letting you know that the children of Israel are what?
Widows.
Are widows.
Tamar.
But what if you do like Tamar and take off your widow's garment, which you're supposed to put on the wedding garment or the bride garment, and put on a whore's garment? What you think gonna happen to you? So when you're in the world and doing what the world is doing, you're going to have on the whore's garment, showing that you have no respect for him and you are cheating on him, and he's going to come back down here and what?
He's going to make you drink that water.
Drink that water, and he's going to be in a jealous rage and destroy everybody that's got on the whore's garment, that didn't put on the white garment and got ready for him. He's going to destroy you. Whoredom and the law of jealousy. And with that, this court is now adjourned.
Man, hallelujah. You like it, you hate it, you love it. Teach part 2 of the hordes of Israel and the jealousy of Yahuwah? Questions, comments, and concerns.
Yeah, just like with the woman, if she was not guilty, the water wouldn't do anything to her. But if you are guilty, automatically stomach swell, thighs rot.
Talking about
Revelation chapter 9 goes into that type of stuff with the
scorpion.
scorpions and all that
Stabbing
stuff.
them and they won't repent.
Yeah. Just one aspect of it. So it's different points or different groups that's getting different things. So this ain't for everybody, but this is for these particular people that are still left here at this time. Anything else? Anybody else?
Hold on, T. One.
Okay, I wanted to know how this relate back then to now. Okay, just like for instance, the Most High, he brought the children of Israel out of Egypt, and he brought them through the Red Sea and did all this stuff for them in the wilderness. With today's time, so we are just basically having the faith to sin in the scriptures what the Most High did for them to be able to walk that same walk according to what he commanded. Well, they actually seen it. Mm-hmm. They was with him eye to eye, or had Moses basically to tell them what to do. So they literally seen it with their eyes.
Absolutely.
So now, in today's time, we're basically walking by faith according to what happened back then.
Absolutely.
Now, okay.
So what Mashiach told Thomas, he says, you believe because you see.
Okay.
Blessed are those who have not seen and believe.
Okay.
That's the whole thing.
Okay, gotcha.
You unite to be loyal to your spouse, you know what I'm saying? And it's like now it's just all about love, and you know what I'm saying? That's just like,
because everything in this society is taught backwards. So woman is now in the man's role, the man is in the woman's role. The whole thing, she's been empowered to disrespect the man and get him out the house. If you get him out the house, you can get $2,000 in food stamps and all this type of stuff. So the whole system is upside down. Everything is out of wax.
right.
From the way it's supposed to be. You know, so
the law was pretty much more enforced in the Old Testaments than it is in the New Testaments.
even then they still did it.
Right.
Even with the capital punishment of getting stoned to death and doing this, that, and the third, people still did it.
It's terrible.
It's like nowadays, what's being pushed to everybody is the height of the thing, right? So I'm gonna show you and push to you the great things about marriage, right? I'm gonna show you the intercourse. I'm gonna show you the pictures taken with your spouse. I'm gonna show you the wedding. I'm gonna give you everything this is the height of this experience, right? But I'm not gonna tell you about the work that gotta go in to get to this point. I'm gonna show you being rich. I'm gonna give you the top. I'm gonna show you how it's easy to go online and make $20 million. I'm gonna show you how, I'm gonna give you the height of this thing. But I'm not gonna show you or tell you about the work that you gotta put in to really get and sustain this type of money. I'm gonna give you the height of sensation in your face so you can just get it just for the height of sensation. Like a lot of women get married to get married.
Right.
They don't get married for marriage.
They
They
more
get
in love
married
with
for the party.
exactly more in love with the wedding itself.
It's the wedding. It's just the wedding. That's all they want. The planning that goes into the wedding is the height of their marriage. And then after that, it's like, I mean, what you mean I'm supposed to do this for you?
So did I read that that Yah, the Most High, was like angry at certain males that wasn't circumcised, or like back in the day, like if
He was mad with Moses when Moses didn't circumcise his son.
oh okay
He was gonna kill him.
right
Moses knew better.
right okay and that just goes to show you how jealous he is, and people still don't care to see how you can't put nobody above the Most High. You know what I'm saying?
And that ain't even just talking about jealousy. That's just like, look, bro, you supposed to be the guy. I put you in position, and you not even doing what I said.
You are the lawgiver.
Yeah.
Right.
And
So
you don't uphold it.
You can't be the guy that's giving it and you not keeping it.
That's why we get whipped, man. We gotta. So now when I get whooped, I just ask the Most High to be lenient with me. I know I'm gonna get whooped. You know what I'm saying? Because I did something I knew. I remember one time the Most High spoke to me and made me take my socks off before I got in my bed. Like I heard something in my head after I prayed and asked for forgiveness. He told me to take my socks off. Don't even go in my room with the socks on, because I probably was gonna get in the bed with the socks. But it was just crazy how he didn't even want me to bring my socks in my room. But yeah, it's getting to that time where I feel like people ain't putting the urgency on how much respect he need to be getting, and people more so. I feel like the name is what got me so focused now, and I noticed the name hit me maybe like 22 years ago when he said, "My son, come in my name." You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no such thing as Jesus and God. You know what I'm saying? But people that don't know nothing, we don't know that the letter J ain't come about until about 12, 1,300 years after the Messiah got killed. You know what I'm saying? When they switched it on us.
But see, them people is doing something out of ignorance. A lot of them are doing something out of ignorance. But what about the quote-unquote Israelites who know and still do it? You know what I'm saying? Like you saying, I get a whooping. At some point,
Right.
I don't want to get another whooping.
Right.
So I know he's going to whoop me, so I shouldn't do that.
So who is her? Who is her? The lady who caused all this fornication? Who is the lady that's riding the scarlet beast? Because I know that Satan was a fallen male angel or something, or you know what I'm saying. So when he speak on her,
that's the whore. That's the religious system that causes you to commit adultery against him. This is all false religions. Any one of them you can pick, it's a part of it.
Okay.
Because it's bringing you away from him. It's causing you to commit adultery against him because you're worshiping something else.
So when the fallen ones fail, do that mean males and females fail? Or you know what I'm saying? Like,
Talk about the angels?
Yeah.
When they fail, they fail.
But
Men fall because they fall. Like it's not cause and effect like the angels fail, so man fall.
Okay.
Man falls because man fall. Those angels fell because they made a decision. Women fall because they make a decision. Everybody got their single decision that they make to fall or to stand. That's why it's not going to be an excuse in the end. He said, therefore, man, you are inexcusable. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to this wrath, because you made the decision. You chose what it is that you into. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So you go back to the beginning of the book. How did Adam get out of that garden? No. What caused him to get kicked out the garden? Sin. Ain't her. It's him.
He chose.
He made a choice to follow and go after her. It was his own choice that put him out there. Why was Cain kicked away from the presence of Yah? He made a choice to do what he did. All of it is a choice. It doesn't tell you. It says in Genesis chapter 5, it says, and Adam had sons and daughters. These are the ones that's unnamed. So they had, I believe, an abundance of kids. Those are the ones that's important to the story that we are bringing forth. The rest of them not important to the story, so it doesn't mention them.
So I had this concept I use. It's yourself, then there's the devil, and then there's our Father, our Creator. So it's a three-way street. You know, you got a choice. Ooh. Okay, the watch must have did that. I'm sorry. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have said that one. We're going to skip past that one. So, yeah, I've been piggybacking off a lot of you saying, so I'm like, and then everything, you know, so basically what I'm saying is, you got your own path, and you got to choose which direction you want to go in, and when you choose that direction, you got to live and uphold that part where you supposed to either honor it, be loyal, obedient, respectful, whichever path you're going. It's rules and regulations to which direction you're going.
Right.
So when we use our GPS, if we see the GPS saying go this way, but we know with right in mind, we might have a shortcut leading up that way. But if we don't follow that shortcut and go to this route that don't make sense, we disobeyed it. We didn't follow what he gave us. He said, yeah, you can follow, but along that way, I'm going to guide you to, you know what I'm saying? All right, I'm over talking, but that's what I wanted to say.
So just like you talk about, everything is a choice, right?
Okay, I'm sorry. There you go. That's what I wanted to say. Adam had dominion, so he already had just as much knowledge as our Creator gave to have. So he knew right then and there when he bit that and all that. He knew everything before he did it. So it was no influence or nothing. He chose to be curious on his own path.
He was influenced.
Yeah, so he had everything our Father had. He already had that in him. He was naming all the animals, the water, the lake, the trees, and everything. So he knew everything.
He was influenced by his wife. He listened to his wife. At this time, they had no pride. They had no sin inside of them, right? They don't know anything anything evil at this time. So they don't have a malicious intent inside of them at all, right?
And something came on along that
the
was
serpent came
right.
and taught Eve pride.
Yeah.
Why do you got to listen to him? You should be able to listen to yourself. You should follow what you want to do. Look at me. I'm touching the tree. Look, I'm eating. Ain't nothing happened to me.
Tempted her.
Exactly. He made her think that Yah is hiding something from her.
So
you could be just as great as him.
Right. He put deceit in her mind, and she took what she learned from him, the snake, and used it on her husband. And he went and got intrigued by it and fell into the trap too. And there you go. But we have that going on today. So going to, like when you say, we know we shouldn't go in that building. We see something come out there, and, hey, man, my boy, oh, whatever, come on, man, you know, we go way back. Now, you know right in there you should not go in there. But what you let temptation, and the relationship that you had with that person is how you always get caught up. That's one of the worst ways. Or your brother might be there. You feel like you got to go look after your brother.
Yeah, let no man say when he is tempted that is he tempted of Yah, but by his own lust that brings you into it.
Oh, I got one better. In the modern world, we say we can't leave the man to his own devices. We destroy or something like that. So it goes in the same concept. Idle hands.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm going to hit pass it on.
So watch this.
Deuteronomy 30 and 19. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death.
I said what?
I have set before you life and death.
He says, I sit before you life and death. Read.
Blessings and cursing.
What is it?
Blessings and cursing.
Therefore what?
Therefore, choose life.
Do what?
Choose life.
I'm not only giving you a multiple choice, but I'm giving you the answer to it. Choose life.
That both you and your seed may live.
That may what?
That both you and your seed may live.
That you and your seed may live. Give you a multiple choice thing. Give you the correct answer. Choose A. Choose this side right here. Because it's not just going to affect you, but it's going to affect your seed, your children after you. Give you the right answer. But what does man do? He chooses the wrong answer. On purpose. This means you know what you're doing. And you choose to do it anyway. What you got, Art?
Why? So the scripture says that that Eve was deceived and not Adam.
Right.
So if Adam wasn't deceived, why did he take from the fruit?
Because he listened to his wife. He wasn't tricked. He followed after his wife. So put it on the natural level again. Have you been with your wife or your girl at the time and she wanted you to do something that you knew that you shouldn't do?
Yeah, I understand.
Huh?
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's the same thing. He followed after his wife. Abraham got in some trouble in Genesis 16, right?
Right.
When it says, Sarah came and says, here, take Hagar, my handmaid. And the thing says, and he hearkened to his wife.
Yep.
So he listened to her, and look the hell that followed behind it.
Right.
Same thing. This is why we never do competition and comparison. Never do that. Never look at what somebody else is doing and do the comparison, because you're going to always be miserable, right? Y'all don't condone competition in no way, shape, or form. He gives whomever it is that he's going to give it to. Here, Moses, you're the guy. Somebody else will get envious and say, I think I should be the guy. So this guy started competing against him. But y'all don't do that. He didn't say, Moses, it's between you and Korah. Whichever one of y'all can run to the top of that mountain the fastest and come back and touch my hand first, you're going to be the guy. He don't do that. He would want his daughter to be with somebody that's righteous, that's going to take his spot, because that's essentially what it is. The husband comes along and takes the father's spot. So he wants somebody to be similar to him that's going to do the same thing that the father would do for the daughter. He don't want the knucklehead that he know ain't right. He don't want that. Because it ain't going to be right. He don't want her to marry Black Mike. Black Mike, he don't want him to marry that one. Jacob is Israel.
altars, you talking about like not to Yah. You talking about to other gods? Okay.
So you saying what got him on that path? Well, he's Abraham and Isaac's seed, offspring. Abraham worshiped Yah, right? It says, surely Abraham gonna raise up his seeds after him to follow him. So Isaac comes along from that direct seed. Now Isaac has learned from Abraham. He's gonna pass it down to Jacob. When Jacob leaves and he's running from Esau, he stops and prays. If you keep me in this way, I will worship you and I will follow you. He make that promise or that prayer to Yah as he's running from Esau. Then when he goes into the land where he went, right? When he goes into that land, now Yah is keeping him through there. And at some point, Yah told him, all right, enough. Get up and go back to your own land now. Right? So he has Yah from his birth. The whole time. Yeah. Yeah. He got the stuff, but Jacob's life was a living hell. The whole time from the time he left from there, his life was a living hell. Terrible. All the way up, basically, almost till he died. When he basically found out that Joseph was still alive. That was the turning point. That was the joy. Then he died shortly after that. But other than that, he said he refused to be comforted when he thought Joseph was dead. He had them 4 wives driving him crazy. So, yeah, the man's life, it was not a peaceful, beautiful life. He's the great grandfather, or the grandfather of the Israelites. Isaac is the father, the grandfather. So no, he's the great grandfather. Isaac is the grandfather, and Jacob is the father. So he's made the covenant between Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Yeah. So, what would be the best way to show who you are? Because, again, we've been in this thing for a minute now. and telling them about your skin color and your woolly locks, more than likely ain't going to work for them. So you got to find a different way. Your walk would be the best way to show that you walk in a certain way, that I walk blameless. I keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, and don't talk down on these people. They don't know, right? But when they see you doing what you do, you're going to be the walking testimony of it. So when you are saying, well, we the people and this, that, and the third, we made this mistake before and trying to beat this over their head and this, that, and the third, it's not the best way. Agree with your adversaries. It's your choice to come out of it, though. So you said when a police officer, you only really deserve one. So let me show you what you should actually do the next time.
Matthew 5:25. Agree with your adversary quickly.
Do what?
Agree with your adversary quickly.
Read.
While you are in the way with him. Lest at any time the adversary deliver you to the judge, and the judge deliver you to the officer, and you be cast in prison.
So the next time, just take the ticket. Your goal should be to get home to your family. That should be your goal. Don't let the pride, I know my rights. You can't. Don't do that. Do what the book say. Agree with your adversary quickly. Here you go, officer. Now I might go and fight the ticket in court. And the book says, when a man's ways please Yah, even his enemies shall be at peace with him. Don't do that. We got a whole bunch of our brothers in the ground off arguing with these people. I know my rights. I got my camera. The camera don't mean nothing. Go ahead, Art.
I'm going to show y'all how these other nations, even our adversaries, are more righteous than we. If you go up to a person that's from Esau or Ishmael and you ask them what they are, what are they going to tell you? What are they going to tell you that they are? No. What they going to tell you? They're Muslim. They ain't about to give you nationality. They ain't about to give you none of that. They're not about to, unless you specifically ask them their nationality, right? They're not giving you that. They're going to tell you, I'm Muslim. And what does that mean to them? A person that submits to the will of their God. That's what they're going to give you. When people asking you what you are, instead of like when we said I'm a Christian, why didn't you just say I'm a black person? I'm a nigga. I'm a Negro. Because you wanted to let it be known I am a worshiper of Jesus Christ. You didn't jump out the window and say, oh, I'm black from the tribe of this, or from the Igbo, I'm African from, you ain't do none of that. So we get on this side where we realize the real worship, where we realize what we are actually supposed to be doing or how we actually supposed to believe, and we take every opportunity we get to steal the esteem from the Father and tell a Negro or a white person or Esau or this person, that person, I'm an Israelite. You a damn fool. This is how we've been for the last 20 years, 30 years. We take all
glory away from the Most High and His Son by telling people that we Israelites because we don't want to tell people we Christians. I rock with what the Christians say. You know why? And I rock with what the Muslims say. You know why? Because at least they giving esteem to their God. We hear and we give esteem to ourselves. You're a black man. You're an Israelite. What do that mean? At the end of the day, it don't mean we ain't leading nobody to what we into. They ain't nobody. Israelites ain't a damn thing. I'm going to tell you why I say that. Yes. You blameless? So what you should say is, I'm a sinner. Because you don't deserve to say that you a Jew or Israel at that point. All Israel ain't Israel. You understand what I'm saying? And this current point that we living in, our esteem needs to go to Yahuwah. Right? We don't got time to put the esteem on us because it don't matter what you call yourself.
But you don't got to go to the Christian church.
But look at what you just said. You didn't say you went to a white church. You didn't say you went to an Ethiopian church. You just said you went to a Catholic, Christian, Baptist, Methodist. Everything that you call those people is giving esteem to who they worship. But you come to an Israelite congregation, that automatically is giving esteem to who? To Israel. Does that make sense? You giving esteem to the people as opposed to the Father. The Father said, I'm going to make them know that I love you. In the meantime, in between time, you need to let these people know that you love him. You know what I'm saying? That's our goal. If we allow these people to know who we serve, this is what's promoting the gospel. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
But ultimately, how did the transatlantic slave trade happen? How did the trans-Saharan slave trade happen? How did the thing with the Ottoman Empire and all that stuff happen? The children of Israel chose it. When you don't obey me, this is what's going to transpire. You can be the head or you can be the tail. We chose it. So these people is really just doing their job because we chose this route. Mashiach.
Yeah.
Yes. Who is he actually talking about when he say that? When he said, get that. Yeah, who is he talking about away from me, you that work iniquity? Who is he talking to when he say that?
Mute channel 1. It's muted. You got to turn it down. Turn it all the way down.
Get that for me, Yuck.
Matthew 7:21. Not everyone that saith unto me, Master, Master, or Yahuwah, Yahuwah, shall enter into the kingdom of Shamayim. But he that doeth the will of my Father, which is
what?
He that doeth the will of my Father.
So whomever does the will of his Father, read.
Many will say to me in that day, Master, Master, Have we not prophesied in your name?
So this means whomever this is actually believes that they are doing the work. Whomever he's talking about right now, they out here with the Bible in their hand and they are thinking that they are doing the work. Read that again.
Many will say to me in that day, Master, Master, have we not prophesied in your name?
So whomever this is prophesying, going out on the streets, teaching people, right? Read.
In your name have we cast out devils?
So they are doing miracles, casting out demons in his name. They are coming and doing the work that they think he wants them to do. Read.
And in your name done many wonderful works? Then I will profess unto them, I never knew you.
What?
I never knew you.
So the people that he's talking about are supposed to be believers. That would be Israelites. That would be anybody that call themselves doing the will, but a lot of that's going to be quote unquote Israelites that he's talking about. The Ruach, the set apart Ruach, or the Ruach HaKodesh.
Yeah, they make spirit and ghost synonymous in the New Testament. You know what I'm saying? So they'll say his Holy Spirit or his Holy Ghost. They make it synonymous, so they just flip them around. But it's denoting the same thing, right? So that's what we say, Ruach, right? But again, when you got people, I can show you somebody who called on the name Jesus that's more righteous than half the people in this room. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's not, I'm not happy to say that, but they don't know and they do. You get what I'm saying? That Romans 2 say, even those that weren't given the law, if they keep the law, they become a law unto themselves. Right? So we got to understand, you being Israel don't mean nothing if you ain't walking in the righteous ways. It don't mean nothing. Absolute. Because there's a lot of people out here doing this. We Israel, we Israel. You go to their crib. They Gentiles. Look how he living. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, that's what's going to count. You know what I'm saying? He said, you are not a Jew, which is one outwardly, but which is one inwardly. Because the appearance of Israel only matters if he's that on the inside too. That's when what advantage is it of being a Jew? Chiefly, every way. Only that works if you doing the right thing. That's when being Israel count for something. That's when your rulership count for something. But he told us in Isaiah that it was going to be people of other nations that was going to have a name greater than you. Why? Because that means somebody in Israel ain't doing what they supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He didn't say offspring. Yeah. But I understand what you're saying, though. Right? Go ahead, Doc. You had something? Yeah. It says that he was a prince that had power with Elohim and with man. Prince that had power with Elohim and man. Mm-hmm. What change? Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
The mixed multitude.
He did.
Yes.
He did. Well, remember when they came through the sea, he said he made a separation between the Egyptians and Israel, right?
Who was all with Israel? The mixed multitude. That means everybody that was with him on that part of the sea was called Israel. And everybody who was chasing behind them were the Egyptians. So the nations that was with him was called Israel, just like Israel was called Israel. You know what I'm saying? So he called them Israel until they got the tripping. When they got the tripping, he said, and the mixed multitude departed. You ain't Israel. You departed. You out here acting like the mixed multitude. Y'all being Gentiles. Get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Jacob ain't inherit nothing. Jacob went and got his pockets fat off of his father-in-law. You know what I'm saying?
Ezekiel 47. Get Ezekiel 47. Yes, sir. About verse 22.
Ezekiel chapter 47 at verse 22. And it shall come to pass that you shall divide it by lot you shall divide it by lot for an inheritance unto you and to the strangers.
And to who?
And to the strangers that sojourn among you.
In fact, go back a verse before that.
Verse 21. So shall you divide the land unto you according to the tribes of Israel.
According to what?
The tribes of Israel.
So now he says you're going to divide the land according to the tribes of Israel, right? Read.
And it shall come to pass that you shall divide it by lot for an inheritance unto you. And to the stranger that sojourn among you.
And to what?
And to the stranger that sojourn among you.
So the land is divided between the children of Israel, the 12, and the stranger that sojourns among them. Read.
Which shall beget children among you.
Which shall what?
Beget children among you.
Read.
And they shall be unto you as born in the country.
As what?
As born in the country.
They shall be as a natural born person that's born in the country. Read.
Among the children of Israel. They shall have inheritance with you.
They shall have what?
They shall have inheritance with you.
So the stranger or the other nations going to have an inheritance with you.
Among the tribes of Israel.
Among what?
Among the tribes of Israel.
Read.
And it shall come to pass that in what tribe the stranger sojourn.
In what?
In what tribe the stranger sojourn.
So wherever the stranger sojourns or whatever tribe he takes to and is around, read.
There shall you give him his inheritance.
There shall what?
You give him his inheritance.
So say, for instance, the Gentile, I want to be like Judah because Judah can hoop. They're going to be dividing the land with Judah. He said, I want to be like Benjamin and Talk. Go ahead.
There shall you give him his inheritance, saith Yahuwah Elohim.
Saith who?
Yahuwah Elohim.
So wherever the Gentile takes hold of, that's what he'll be considered. He will be around them people, and he gets an inheritance as well.
Let me add this. This is an end time prophecy. Yes. Which means we cannot say that the stranger is Israel. Because none of us were born in the land of Israel. Right? So when he's talking about the stranger, he's talking about Goyim, or the nations, or somebody that is not from Israel, somebody that does not hold the same blood as Israel. Yeah, for sure. I just wanted to say that. You got people on the camera watching, they're going to hit us with it. Right? Go ahead. Say it one more time.
All 12 tribes.
Everybody gonna get somebody. Yeah, Dan definitely got a gate.
I believe that the elect is Israel. Definitely Israel.
Of the tribe of Judah, sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of,
Yeah.
it names them.
Is there another? What you got? Then I'm gonna come to you. The reason why people don't recognize that the tribe of Dan got a gate or that they will be in the country is because they look at the 144,000 and they take from that list. Dan is not mentioned in the 144,000 warriors. That does not take away Dan having a gate or a portion in the land, as you can see in Ezekiel 47 and 48. They got a gate. What you got, Sister Venus?
Praise y'all. Praise y'all. All right. We're going to pray. Yeah, man. Because y'all ain't going to stop.
Hold on. Hold on. It ain't over. Hallelujah. Praise y'all.
That's my big sister. Best big sister in the world.
Praise Yahuwah. Hard work does not go unnoticed by anybody.
But before we do close out, I got a mellow request.
There's a mellow request.
I want to bring my Aunt Johnny to the drums. And let's get that joint out. The joint she made last week. If it's no problem. If it's no problem. So we're going to go out with a beautiful song. He is the greatest. That joint. Hold on. Let me bring it back to your memories.
It ain't Harley. Not that one.
It's the new one you made last week.
Because of you. We will never be defeated. And because you is the greatest power.
Woo!
We shall never be defeated.
Hands to the sky, everybody. Come on. Put them up.
And because
Come on.
is the greatest power.
Woo.
Hallelujah. We shall never, never be defeated.
Hands to the sky. Come on, everybody.
And because
If you love y'all, put your hands to the sky.
is the greatest power, we shall never be defeated. Everybody. And because
Come on. Hands to the sky.
God is the greatest power,
Woo.
we shall never be defeated, never be defeated. Oh, and because is the greatest power, we shall never be defeated. Come on, lift your voice if you believe. And is the greatest power, he shall never be defeated. Oh, and because Yah is the greatest power, we shall never be defeated. Come on, lift your voice, everybody.
Because Yah,
hallelujah, is the greatest power.
it's the greatest power.
Woo! We
Come
shall
on.
never be defeated. That means we win, yeah, and because it's the greatest power, we shall never be defeated. We win because Yah, and because Yah is the greatest power, we shall never be defeated. One more time, everybody, and we, because it's the greatest power, we shall never be defeated. Oh, 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 oh. One last time, because Yah is the greatest power, we shall never we shall never be defeated. Hallelujah.
That man is on my album. That man is on my album, everybody. Woo! And because Yah will never be defeated. Come on! We shall never be defeated. Come on, Johnny! And because Yah, woo! The greatest, it's the greatest power. Never be defeated. And because Yah is the greatest power, and we shall never be defeated.
Oh, because Yah, hey, is the greatest power, we shall never be defeated. Whoa!
Hallelujah.
Abba Yahuwah, Father, we give you praise, honor, and esteem today. Father, we thank you for your goodness. We thank you for your faithfulness, Father. We thank you for your worthy of all praise and honor today, Father. We give you praise for you are victorious, Father. You always cause us to triumph in Yahushua HaMashiach, Father. And we give you praise. We thank you for your mercy. We think they're renewed every day, Father. We thank you for this feast of dedication that we bring it to the end, Father, that you allow us to examine ourselves and see if we be in the belief, Father. We ask you to continue to allow us to examine ourselves and walk uprightly before you, Father. We ask that you to be with chosen seed as a whole, every member, every elder, every mother, every sister, every brother, every family, Father. We just touch us, allow us to walk together and believe in unity and strength, Father. We ask you just to be with us as we go throughout the week and keep us safe in all hurt, harm, and danger, Father. In the name and authority of Yahushua HaMashiach, we give you praise, honor, and thanks. Hallelujah. So be it.
Abinushu Bashamai, Ikados, Semka, Tabo, Makuka, Yase, Bresuka, Bares, Kasher, Nasha, Bashmai, Telanu, Hayon, Liki, Kukanu, Uslat, Lanu, A, Ashmatenu, Kasher, Suki, Anaknu, Lasher, Ashmu, Lanu, Wa'o, Tabinu, Lede, Masa, Ki, E, Hasulanu, Mi, Hera, Ki, Laka, Amam Laka, Waigubora, Wati Ferex, Lame, Lami, so be it.
So be it. Hallelujah.